Tonight on 11 at 11, a flood warning is in effect right now for some of you. I'm keeping a close eye on rising water, plus wind is on the way for tomorrow.
Breaking tonight.
This is just one of many cars on the turnpike tonight. We'll tell you what drivers are dealing with.
Late breaking tonight, schools closing, big changes on the way in the Pittsburgh City schools. We'll break it all down for you.
Live, local, late breaking. Channel 11 News 11 at 11 starts with breaking news.
Tires, hundreds of them, covered in a sticky, gooey substance, leaving driver after driver stuck along a 30-mile stretch of the Pennsylvania Turnpike tonight. The call started coming into our newsroom just after 8 o'clock tonight.
And now, more than 3 hours later, we can tell you the turnpike is still a mess tonight. This spill stretched from the Route 60 exit in Beaver County to the Route 28 exit in Harmer. We have live Team 11 coverage. Gordon Lesh tracked down the truck that caused the big spill. But we begin tonight with Julie Fine, who talked to drivers caught in this mess. She joins us live in Cranberry Township. Julie?
Well, we want to show you right here behind us this tow truck. We've been seeing them all night here in this gas station. What's also here at this gas station, this tar left over from the cars. Now, again, the calls started coming into our newsroom at about 8. We headed right out to the turnpike. Now, my photographer, Georgianne, and I drove from Cranberry to Beaver Valley. We saw more than 20 cars on the side of the turnpike, tar covering them even on the hubcaps. There is an alert for drivers now warning them of congestion and a tar-like substance on the road. Our news partner, the Tribune Review, reporting the seal broke on that tanker truck carrying a tar sealant between markers 15 and 40. We were able to actually pull over and talk to a couple of drivers on I-76 who told us what it was like when they realized they had tar on their tires, tar that even leaked onto the ground as well, and what it was like trying to clean it off.
It was scary. Didn't know what was going on.
I've been driving very slowly for about the last hour, and I guess you can still see there's probably still 5 pounds of tar even on this tire.
There must have been at least 60 that we passed before we pulled off the first time. A state trooper came by and he said about 200 cars that were affected.
Look at us, we're all of us off the road, and people are driving because they're trying to heat up their car to make the tar get soft so they can scrape it off. It's incredible.
Now here's one guy we talked to earlier. He came here all the way from Michigan with his kids. He was finally able to pull out of the gas station here. You can see the tar still coming out of his tires as he rolled out of the parking lot. Guess where he was going? Firestone, to get 4 new tires. Now, what we did see on the turnpike tonight, a large state police presence. We're working to get more information from the turnpike on when this will be cleaned up. We're live in Cranberry. Julie Fine, Channel 11 News.
Wow, what a big mess, Julie. All right, thank you. Meantime, we got a news tip that the leaking tanker was at the Oakmont Service Plaza. So we sent Channel 11's Gordon Lesh to check it out and track down the driver. He picks up our live Team 11 coverage now. Gordon?
Darius, good evening. We found the truck and the driver here at the Oakmont Plum Plaza off the turnpike, just off Route 28. Take a look just behind me. That is the tanker truck that is responsible for this huge mess tonight. It says East Stewart Mitchell Company from Baltimore, Maryland on the side, but the Turnpike Commission tells us it's actually the MTS Transport Company out of Maryland. And the slogan on the side, cover it with asphalt. That's an unfortunate slogan considering this substance covered so many vehicles and has caused so many problems tonight. But you can see where it's leaking from. An apparent malfunctioning valve right there at the center top of the tanker trailer. Now let's show you some video. This is the back end of the tanker truck. You can see it's just been pooling a large area of this tar-like substance just behind the truck, and the whole back end of that tanker truck is covered. That's not the only thing. The state police trooper who pulled this tank trucker over on the turnpike, his vehicle also covered with tar tonight. He did great work getting the truck off the turnpike, but obviously his car was so badly damaged it had to be towed away from this lot. Now, the Turnpike Commission tells us that this trucker was out here for about 39 miles. He got on at the Newcastle interchange, mile marker 10, drove for about 39 miles, never stopped, and told police he had no idea that he was leaking this tar-like sealant substance. I tried to get some answers from the trucker himself. Sir, can I talk to you?
No, you can't.
We can't talk about what happened? You don't feel responsible about what happened out here?
They trying to do your job. No comment. Talk to a state trooper.
You can't tell us anything about what happened or how this happened? There's like 100 drivers that have been affected from what we understand.
When I looked at my tire on my left side, the tar was just dripping. Like, it just looked like my tire melted. It was just everywhere.
That was Brittany from Pitcairn. She was on her way home from college when she ran into this mess. Her car is disabled. That car right there, stuck in the middle of this lot. One of the workers from the plaza came out here just a few minutes ago, told me there are cars wrapped around the entire plaza. People are tracking this tar sealant type substance in through the building. It's a huge problem, and people are coming to us to find out how they're going to get any of their costs covered for the damage. That is unclear right now. It's also unclear what kind of charges this company may be facing. But again, the MTS Transport Company out of Maryland, the Turnpike Commission, State Police still investigating right now. That's the latest. Gordon Lesh, Channel 11 News.
Wow. All right, Gordon, thanks. And I spoke to a man tonight heading from Ohio to Washington, D.C., and he told me it was an unbelievable sight. David Hemperle spoke to me on the phone from his car as this was going on. He describes the size of the tar chunks that people were hitting and later trying to avoid.
It's literally, 10 times the size of my footprint and about 4 inches thick.
Oh, man.
And this is what's on the road, and you're trying to, like a video game, trying to dodge it because you don't want it to stick to the wheel.
Hemperle said compounding the mess was the fact that he saw no police at the time and the PennDOT emergency phone line was jammed. We just got a couple of new pictures from David giving us an idea of how big these sticky spots are. There you can see it compared to his shoe. Here you can see just how it is consuming the tire, making it nearly impossible to get anywhere.
And David, we've been getting a lot of pictures emailed to us from viewers who are stuck in this mess. Here's an up-close look at the sticky substance drivers are trying to deal with out there tonight. This picture was taken near Oakmont. And here's another look from a bit further away this time. You can see a police car there trying to block more cars from driving through it. And another close-up shot. We'll check in with our live crews on the scene for any new reports they have coming up in about 10 minutes.
And another big story for you tonight. Rain leads to flooding warnings and flood warnings for several counties in the area. And because of the flooding threat, the Mon Wharf will be closed tomorrow. Will stay closed until further notice. The Pittsburgh Parking Authority expects that parking area to flood tomorrow morning.
Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper has been telling us all week about the flooding possibility.
And now we're actually getting the reports of damage in Fayette County, we understand, Stephen.
Yeah, indeed, David. We're just getting reports out of Hopwood, Fayette County, of some flooding there. And I'll show you in a moment the amount of rain that has fallen in that area. Let me show you the flood warning first. In particular, southern parts of Indiana County, Westmoreland County, Fayette, down through Greene, Monongalia, and down through Marion and Wetzel counties in West Virginia. The problem, of course, the amount of rain that has fallen. These are just a sampling of some of the rain totals, pushing up near an inch in Pittsburgh, over an inch in Morgantown, and over an inch in Somerset. Here is a flood watch that's in effect too. This for all the counties that are shaded in green. And what we're going to look at over the course of the next several hours, steadier rainfall eventually tapering off, but take a look at some of the rain totals. I've zeroed in around Hopwood, Fayette County, numbers up over an inch in that area, and getting reports of possible mobile home areas underwater there. So we'll keep you posted on the damages, and more importantly too, when this rain will eventually get out of here. I'll take you hour by hour in just a moment and show you that the weather will transition dramatically during the day tomorrow. We'll see you then.
All right, Stephen, thanks. Our morning team will track the flooding and road conditions overnight. Coverage starts at 4:30 a.m.
And now to the latest on the Penn State sex abuse scandal. The hearing for former Nittany Lions coach Jerry Sandusky, who is facing 40 counts of child sex abuse, was delayed today until December 13th. And today we've learned there are new allegations of abuse against Sandusky. The two juveniles came forward within the past 60 days, claiming they were assaulted by Sandusky. They are the first cases involving victims who are still under the age of 18. Also today, all of the judges in Sandusky's home county have recused themselves from the case. Judges from outside Center County will now handle the case. And Pennsylvania child welfare officials say they've seen the number of child abuse reports nearly double since these charges were filed against Sandusky. They say the case against him is making people more alert. There are new developments in this case daily. Stay with Channel 11 News for continuing coverage.
And new at 11, a plan is approved to make major changes to the Pittsburgh City schools. And while thousands of students will be relocated, hundreds of jobs will also be cut. Channel 11's Gordon Lesh filed this report earlier tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
In a plan that's been considered since July and amended several times since, the Pittsburgh School Board approved a new realignment plan tonight.
It appears all items have passed.
Although one element nearly split the board vote, the overall plan was passed unanimously.
There will be a school still in the area, and we're just trying to make, I think, the best decisions that we can with the circumstances that we have.
In the 2012-2013 school year, 7 schools will close, including Fort Pitt Pre-K through 5, Langley High School, Murray K through 8, Northview Pre-K through 8, Oliver High School, Schaefer K through 8, and Stevens K through 8. Langley will become the home to kindergarten through 8th grade. High schoolers at Langley will transfer to Brashear, and high schoolers at Oliver will transfer to Perry.
Somewhere we have to find a way to remind poor students, primarily African American students, that they should be treated fairly.
The plan will result in the closure of 7 facilities throughout the district, as well as the loss of 400 positions throughout the school system. The change is necessary, say school board members, to help the district address its budget crisis.
We do it because it's what we have to do and what we have to do to be equitable throughout the district.
Although the high school will be closing here at Oliver, the building will remain in use as the new home of the special education program. On the north side, Gordon Lesh, Channel 11 News.
And police say a son is to blame for hitting his father in the face and the head with a claw hammer. In Butler County, police arrested Travis Zaborski for allegedly going after his dad, Joe, at a house in Lindora this morning. Police say he had a claw hammer and beat his dad in the head and neck. The dad told police it was over a woman. He went to the hospital with cuts to his face and back.
Air conditioning units targeted again, and this time a Troy Hill homeowner is firing back. We brought you this story first on 11 after we told you about more than a half dozen air conditioners were stolen for parts. We learned the thieves have tried to strike again. When we aired the Troy Hill, the fed-up homeowner told us that this was the 3rd time that someone tried to take his AC unit. This time the retired police officer fired shots to try and scare off the suspects.
It's just frustrating, you know. And I don't know what you get for this. What can you get for this? What's worth $1? I mean, they're talking about their lives involved here. You know what I mean?
Police say discharging a firearm in the city limits is not the way to handle this. They are encouraging signs like this, urging residents to read them and report suspicious activity.
Steady rain this afternoon bringing in flooding threats for tonight.
And we've already had reports of rising water in Fayette County.
That's right, David. Darius, with that in mind, we are pushing the severe weather risk into the moderate category overnight tonight. A flood warning in effect will highlight the counties again. Rain steady to heavy, then a windy and cooler forecast as we head into Thanksgiving. I'll see you in just a couple.
We're following a breaking story along the Pennsylvania Turnpike. A sticky substance damaging cars and stopping hundreds of drivers right in their tracks. We'll check back with our crews on the scene about the cleanup.
Plus, new at 11, a pilot walks away from this. We have the incredible images of a chopper crash he somehow survived. Just in time for some of the busiest travel and shopping days of the year, we'll show you some relief drivers can expect.
We have exclusive video of the breaking news on the Turnpike. We tracked down the truck that leaked the sticky substance on a 30-mile stretch of the Turnpike tonight. There at the Oakmont Service Plazas where we caught up with them.
Hundreds of drivers stuck in the muck.
And we've learned a tanker sprung that leak, leaving a mess of tar along a 30-mile stretch. Channel 11's Julie Fine live again now after talking with drivers about their troubles. Julie.
Well, this is what they're dealing with. Take a look at this Jeep right here. It is about to be towed. A lot of drivers having a lot of problems tonight, and we do have some new information. Apparently, a tanker truck entered the Pennsylvania Turnpike at Newcastle Interchange. This driver drove eastbound for 39 miles before pulling over at the Oakmont Service Plaza. Driver then apparently told the police that's when he realized there was a problem with the valve on the tanker, which caused it to leak a driveway sealant. Now the substance comes out really hot, it dries rather quickly, but now drivers are seeing all of this on their tires right here. If you can see on this tire right here, it's actually freezing a little bit now, but apparently it is coming off. So what drivers are doing now is just calling tow trucks. I spoke to one tow truck driver who just told me this is one of their busiest nights in a while. They can't even keep up with all of the calls that are coming in, and they expect them all evening long. We're told that this has affected more than 100 cars so far. We're live in Cranberry. Julie Fine, Channel 11 News.
Wow, what a mess. Well, new video tonight of a helicopter using a cable to install a Christmas tree crashed Wednesday morning. Helicopter hovering just above the ground when the accident happened. No reports of serious injuries on the ground, and even the pilot escaped without serious injury. And tonight, investigators in Auckland, New Zealand, working to find out just what brought down that chopper.
A woman attacked with a beer bottle in Beaver County, and tonight we're getting a chance to hear just what happened. Modesty Riggins tells us she was attacked early Sunday morning in an after-hours club in Hopewell. Riggins says she was talking with her child's father when another woman started arguing with her. This picture you're about to see is pretty graphic, and it shows just how badly Modesty was beaten. We're told not only was she hit with the bottle, but the woman dragged her along her face. Riggins had to get a dozen stitches and staples.
All I can remember was beer and blood gushing down my face. I had got hit with a bottle.
We're told police are investigating what happened, reviewing a surveillance video. So far, no arrest.
When I seen her just sitting at the window, I was like, whoa, and she was like, help me, my house is on fire.
A Lawrence County teenager hailed a hero tonight. He jumped into action when he heard his neighbor screaming for help. Where getting to her was no easy task. The only way of running out of the Newcastle home was a second-floor window. 15-year-old Justin Ritchie woke up early this morning at his Court Street home because of a barking dog. That's when he noticed his neighbor yelling for help from her burning house. The teen immediately sprung into action to help the 74-year-old Charlene McMasters.
And I run over to that side of the house, and I grab a ladder. And I bring the ladder over here, set it up. She got like about halfway, like right there, and then she fell a little bit. And I didn't like that. I was kind of scared.
McMasters did suffer a broken hip, but no burns. Her family says young Justin is a quick thinker.
A Hazelwood woman gets a big surprise as she gives birth in a bathroom, and she says she didn't even know she was pregnant. 22-year-old Paris Critton had a healthy baby boy last night inside her home. Today, she and her new surprise are both at McGee Women's Hospital doing well. Neighbors along Johnstown Street were just as shocked to hear the news. But now she has a 7-pound, 5-ounce baby boy, and many asked how she didn't know, although neighbors tell us they believe her story.
She wasn't showing at all. I seen her short jackets and everything. She didn't have no big stomach or anything like that.
It just goes undetected sometimes, and I just think that it's just an amazing way to have a surprise baby, you know what I mean, to bring somebody in this world.
We talked to Critton's mother, and she says over the last few months she told Paris that she looked pregnant.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast in high definition.
Well, 2 days of steady rain, and it was only a matter of time before we started getting reports of some flood problems, and that has been the case. National Weather Service hoisting up the flagpole of flood warning earlier this evening about 9 o'clock, and now the reports coming in around Hopwood, Fayette County of some flood problems on roadways, numerous flood problems in parts of West Virginia, and the county shaded in green running from southern Indiana through Westmoreland down to Fayette and over to Greene will continue under a flood warning through 3 a.m. as a result of the steady rains that are moving through. Let me show you what's going on in terms of the rainfall and the story tonight. We've been watching over the last day and a half, really. Winds coming out of the south, pumping in a lot of moisture, which has turned into almost an inch of rainfall in Pittsburgh just in the last 24-hour period. We are at 57 degrees now as the temperatures continue to climb out ahead of a warm front that's eventually going to slide through. We've already tallied up that 0.8 of an inch of rainfall, and we're pushing up near an inch and a quarter by tomorrow morning, and that's part of the problem. We will have the steady rainfall continuing at least for the next 2-hour period. After midnight, though, I see it starting to taper off as we see the system gradually moving away. Let me show you Storm Tracker. This is a great tool to show us hour by hour where the range will go. You can see the steady range still working through Greensburg, but the left side of your screen, we're beginning to see the back edge of the steadier range pulling to the east, which is great news. So we will eventually, as we see the clock going up to about 2 o'clock, between 2 and 4 a.m., see the steady rains working out of the area, but not before leaving a huge footprint of rainfall across the area with those totals over an inch. Storm Tracker doing a great job painting in the trend tonight through tomorrow morning. The yellow, the steady rain moves out. 7 a.m. tomorrow, we're left with a few showers, and really then the focus will be on some cooler air coming across. Temperatures for tomorrow will top out early and then continue to fall through the day into tomorrow night, back down near freezing. Forecast tonight, that flood warning in effect. Be alert if you're traveling out. Water on the roadways can be deadly. 46 degrees with rain tapering to showers, increasing winds over the course of the evening. Temperatures top out early and then fall during the day. Windy and cooler with a few showers. Gusts could go as high as 35 miles an hour tomorrow in that cool northwesterly wind. 52 and beautiful on Thursday. Friday's forecast, Black Friday, 59. Saturday back to 62 and 60 as we close this Thanksgiving weekend. Don't forget meteorologist Mike LaPointe in-house early tomorrow. He'll have all the rain data for you and also talk about that big temperature fall headed through the day.
All right, sir, thanks very much. Well, good news tonight for drivers and more of it tomorrow.
Next, the changes that will make getting around in some normally challenging areas a little easier. Smooth sailing along McKnight Road in Ross Township tonight. The first time we've been able to say that since June. This is video from our traveling traffic tracker. Restrictions were lifted today at the bridge over Babcock Boulevard. Some occasional off-peak restrictions will pop up here and there, but PennDOT says it may not impact your holiday shopping. And more good news for drivers. The new Route 28 ramp onto the 40th Street Bridge reopens tomorrow. The ramp has been closed since last fall, causing some tie-ups and at times some confusion for drivers. It should be open before noon tomorrow.
Now, the Supercuts Sports Report.
Good evening. No go for the Hall of Fame, at least not this year. Bill Cowher does not make the list of potential modern-day football Hall of Famers. It was trimmed to 26. Cowher not on the list. He coached the Steelers for 15 seasons and finished with 149 wins and 90 losses. Cowher coached in 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 40. That Super Bowl 40 win was the final game for Jerome Bettis. The bus has made the cut again. The list will be trimmed to 15 in early January. The Hall of Fame class of 2012 will be announced February 4th, Super Bowl weekend. In all, 4 Steelers on the list of 26 modern-day candidates. Bettis, Donnie Shell, Dermontti Dawson, and Kevin Green are on the list. Former Steelers defensive back Jack Butler is one of 2 senior nominees for the Hall of Fame. At his weekly news conference, Mike Tomlin had high praise for former West Allegheny High School, Pitt, and Steelers quarterback Tyler Palko.
He learned our offense extremely quickly. He's a very intelligent young man, of course. He's a son of a coach. I think that oozes out of him in conversation. He's just a good football man, one that we respect.
The Black and Gold Zone countdown to kickoff starts 6 o'clock Sunday evening. It's Football Night in America, Steelers and Chiefs right here on Channel 11. The Pitt Panthers had another scare tonight, although this time they survived with a 4-point win over LaSalle. Lamar Patterson for 3. Pitt builds an early lead. He had 4. Pitt with 4 in double figures. But LaSalle worked their way back into the game. Gerald Wright, the freshman from Philadelphia, with a little left-handed hook, little baby hook, and it was down to 3 at one point in the second half. Nasir Robinson, though, 17 tonight, and Pitt wins it 73-69. West Virginia beats Morehead State 83-48. Robert Morris beats James Madison 82-77. Everybody had a favorite moment from last night's Sidney Crosby comeback game. Maybe it was Sid taking the ice. Maybe it was his first goal. But what about Sid? Channel 11's Bill Phillips asked Crosby what he'd take away from that performance.
Playing hockey again. I mean, that was, there's just something about a game day. It's different, you know, when it's a game day, the preparation and the anticipation for a game and all the stuff that comes with it.
Penn's hosts St. Louis tomorrow night. I'm Albie Oxenrider, and that's sports.
And a flood warning in effect right now for many of our viewers.
Stephen Cropper tracking everything you need to know for a busy travel day. Next.
Primanti Brothers used to winning awards, but this time the iconic Pittsburgh sandwich shop named the best and manliest restaurant in America. According to the Huffington Post, Men's Health magazine put the Primanti Brothers sandwich at the top of 45 nominees, calling it the most dude-friendly sandwich and restaurant. Men's Health says the sandwich piled high with meat, coleslaw, and French fries is a bicep buster. No argument here.
It's a lot of loving. Hey, 7 a.m. tomorrow, scattered showers, temperatures falling throughout the day, and we're talking wind gusts 20 to 35 miles an hour tomorrow.
Wow.
So it will be breezy and colder. Be careful if you're headed out before sunrise. There could be some rain on the roadways.
Yeah, watch that small flooding and ponding.
But the good news is changes are on the way.
They are, for the better.
Yes, good. Great. All right, our next news is tomorrow morning at 4:30.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. Good night.